What is going on, everyone? Are you sick of living in the city? Want to find a rural town, get a mortgage in Pennsylvania, and get in on that life and death debate? Which is better, Sheetz or Wawa? Who doesn't, right? Today we're looking at great rural towns in the Quaker State, Pennsylvania. It's also known as the Cornerstone State. Pennsylvania is one of my favorite states. As a matter of fact, what I consider to be one of the best small towns in the US is in Pennsylvania, and yes, it is on this list. There are a ton of great rural towns in Pennsylvania, but hardly any had all the things we look for in these videos. So many didn't make the list because of crime, poor internet, or they were just clumped together with a few other small towns and sort of making them a city and not really a rural town. I promise I missed some really good ones on this list, and if you know some that I overlooked, we'd love to hear about it in the comment section. If you haven't watched these videos before, what we're looking for is that sweet spot, a decent place to live, isn't too close to a major city, easy on the crime rate, not 5 hours away from a hospital, and not so far out in the sticks you can't get good internet. In the past videos, I explained that not all states have good rural towns, and I don't want to waste your time throwing a bunch in there that don't really cut the mustard, just to get to 10. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look. Number 6, Honesdale, Pennsylvania. Honesdale is one of my favorite small towns in the country. Honesdale is a rural small town in northeast Pennsylvania, not too far from the New York border. I've spent a lot of time in this place, and I love Honesdale. They've got great people, a great vibe, and one of the coolest hotels I've ever stayed in, Hotel Wayne. You could actually see that one on some of those ghost-busting YouTube channels, you know, the ghost hunter type things. They've had a couple episodes done on Hotel Wayne. This is a historic hotel in a historic town. The Lackawaxen River flows straight through Honesdale with creeks and lakes surrounding this place. If you like fishing, hunting, all that good stuff, Honesdale is perfect for that. They got about 4,000 residents here, and they get a thumbs up for their crime rate. It's 34% lower than the national average. They also get a thumbs up for their internet. They have Blue Ridge, which offers 1 gig to 80% of the town. They have like 4 other companies that offer 1 gig, and they cover anywhere from 10 to 40% of the town. If you got any healthcare issues, they got you covered in Honesdale. They have Wayne Memorial Hospital in town. This place is huge. It's one of those situations where it seems too big for the town, but it covers a lot of the county. They've got an emergency room, everything you need. Pretty big for such a small town. It's not some small clinic with a couple doctors. Full-blown hospital. When it comes to real estate, Honesdale gets a big thumbs up too. They got plenty to choose from, and they got a wide selection of prices. Starting off at $155,000 right now. That one's going to need a lot of work, but you could get something decent for $220,000 to $270,000. If you really want something nice, you're looking at about $350,000 to $400,000. And unless it's like right downtown Honesdale, chances are you're going to have a creek or a pond on your property. If you do go there looking for property, call Tim at the Remax in Honesdale Remax. His family's been there a long time. Number 5, Emporium, Pennsylvania. Emporium sits about 3 hours northeast of Pittsburgh in northern Pennsylvania, right where a whole bunch of creeks meet. There's like 4 or 5 good-sized creeks or streams that meet at this town. That's one thing you notice right away when you visit Pennsylvania. There is water everywhere. Ponds, creeks, rivers, streams, lakes, springs. They always seem to be a short walk away from wherever you are in this state. Emporium has a population of about 2,000, and they get a thumbs up for their crime rate. It's 55% lower than the national average, which is pretty good. When it comes to their internet, they also get a thumbs up. They have Windstream offering 1 gig to 99% of the town. If you take a look at the healthcare here, we're going to give them a faded thumbs up. They have a few doctors and some clinics in town along with a dentist, but anything major or an emergency room, you got about a 30-minute drive to St. Mary's. When you look at their real estate, they're doing pretty good. They get a thumbs up there too. $100,000 will get you a home, or actually under $100,000. There's a couple for like $80,000, $75,000. Those are going to need some work. So if you're low on cash and you just want to get in someplace, this is a great option. If you get anything over $200,000, $220,000, it's going to be livable and ready to go. It's a beautiful town too. Number 4, Portage, Pennsylvania. Portage sprung up around 1834 when they built a railroad over the Allegheny Mountains to connect Pennsylvania's canal system. Portage sits about 10 miles southeast of Edinburgh and about 22 miles southwest of Altoona. This is another great place to live if you're on a budget. Let's say you're retiring on a fixed income, you could probably afford a house here. It's that cheap. Portage has a population of about 2,600. And they get a thumbs up for their crime rate. It's actually 59% lower than the national average, which is pretty good. Their internet, again, big thumbs up. They have Xfinity. I hate the company, but they give good internet. They offer 1 gig to 90% of the town. On top of that, they have a few other companies that offer 1 gig and they cover like 4 and 10% of the town. So chances are you'll be able to get something. Always call ahead. Don't just move someplace counting on them having internet at whatever place you buy or rent or whatever. When it comes to healthcare, we're giving them a faded thumbs up because they don't have like an emergency room or a urgent care in town. I did some research. It seems like they should. I couldn't find anything. If I'm missing something, let me know in the comment section below. But they do have a couple clinics and a couple doctors in town, along with like a physical therapy place. Anything like an emergency room you need, you're going to have to head out to Johnstown, which is about 25 minutes away. And that's to the southwest. If you're looking for real estate in Portage, good news. They get a thumbs up here too. They have a lot of things for sale right now, and a lot of them are under 100,000. I'm talking 80,000 to one's 30,000. They need a lot of work, and you're going to have to do some reconstruction, but you can get into a home for 30,000 here. You might have to get a trailer while they redo your house for a couple months, but that's how cheap it is. That's in town. In the rural areas outside of town, you can get some acres, and that usually starts around 200 to 300,000. Like any place in Pennsylvania, the winters can get harsh, so I didn't mention that at the beginning, but Pennsylvania does get some pretty harsh winters, so keep that in mind too. Their summers, I've been there during the summer 3 different times. I loved it. Winter's a different story. I've also seen snow there get up to about your waist. I was amazed at that type of snow, and the person I was with going, oh, I've seen much worse. I don't even want to think about it. Number 3, Seneca, Pennsylvania. Seneca is a census-designated place about 90 minutes south of Erie, Pennsylvania, and Lake Erie. So it's a designated area. It's technically not a town, but we're going with it. It's also across the Allegheny River from a place called Oil City. That sounds like a place that should be in Texas, if you ask me. This is a great part of Pennsylvania if you like to do some fishing. Smallmouth, walleye, lake trout, rainbow trout are all big here. If you want to be away from a big city, Seneca is worth a look. They have plenty of small towns and villages in the area, but they are a good distance from anything that could be remotely mistaken for a big city. The nearest city is Pittsburgh, and that's a little over an hour and a half to the south. Seneca has about 1,300 residents, and they get a thumbs up for their crime rate. It's 60% lower than the national average. When it comes to their internet, they also get a big thumbs up. They have Xfinity. They get over a gig for about 86% of the homes here. And they also have a company called Armstrong that covers about 40% of the town with a gig. When it comes to healthcare, they also get a big thumbs up. They have UPMC Northwest just outside of town, like 5 minutes outside of town, and that's got everything. It's a huge hospital emergency room, open 24 hours a day. Anything you need, you'll get taken care of there. I really doubt there's much you'd have to like go into Pittsburgh or something like that to do. They should be able to handle everything. They also get a thumbs up when it comes to real estate. They have a lot of options, starting off around 70,000 and working their way up to a place for 560,000 that's got some acres. But anything below 100,000, I should say 120,000, you're going to need to do some work. But those houses are available. But what you really want to be ready to spend is over 250,000. That'll get you a nice home that's decent, livable, and you might need to put a coat of paint on it or something like that, but you're not going to have to redo the whole house. Number 2, Hometown, Pennsylvania. Yes, it's really called Hometown. Hometown is a village in Rush Township in eastern Pennsylvania, about 90 minutes northwest of Allentown, Pennsylvania. This is a great area if you like to be outdoors, hunt, hike, whatever. They even got a golf course just west of town, the Mountain Valley Golf Course, which is right there. In Pennsylvania, it's my experience. I'm sure they have them, but I haven't seen as many golf courses around some of these small towns as I've seen in other states. This part of Pennsylvania is coal country, in case you didn't already know. I mean, they've still got coal mines around this area. Matter of fact, just down the road, they got a little village called Coaldale. Hometown has a population of 1,300, and they get a thumbs up for their crime rate. It's actually 70% lower than the national average. That is phenomenal. Congratulations. They get a thumbs up for their internet. They've got Service Electric Cablevision, which offers 1 gig to 99% of the town. They have some other ones too, but that's the main one. They also get a thumbs up when it comes to healthcare. They got a dentist in town and like a little nursing rehabilitation center. But if you need a hospital right down the road, like 11 minutes away in Coaldale, They have St. Luke's Miners Memorial Hospital, which is a full-blown hospital, everything you're going to need. If you do need a specialist or something they can't handle there, you probably going to have to go north about 42 minutes to Wilkes-Barre. They have big hospitals there. If not, I'm sure Scranton does. Another thing I like about Hometown, they're not too far away from Jim Thorpe, which is a really cool place to visit, like on the weekend, and they have this little train there. That's a really cool town. I wouldn't live there, but it's a pretty cool town to visit. Hometown also gets a thumbs up. When it comes to real estate, they don't have a lot for sale right now. Actually, they only have 2 places. One's going for $250,000, the other one's going for $240,000. It is honestly hard to find a place here that is over $300,000. Most of the homes that have sold for the last 5 or 6 months go for under $200,000. They might need a little work. Most of them look decent. They're not totally falling apart or anything like that. They look like decent homes that may need a paint job and a little work, and you're good to go for a home that's probably $150,000. Not bad. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This Day. Love it if you went over there and give some videos a big thumbs up and subscribe and all that good stuff. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, Muncie, Pennsylvania. That's right, Pennsylvania has their own Muncie. Muncie sits about an hour west of Wilkes-Barre, on the west branch of the Susquehanna River. This is another great town if you like to go fishing. I was watching videos on YouTube of guys pulling good-sized brown trout out of the river here. A little over 2,000 people call Muncie home, and they get a thumbs up when it comes to their crime rate. It's 91% lower than the national average. That is outstanding. They also get a thumbs up for their internet. They get 1 gig from Xfinity, and they cover about 75% of the town. Then they have Windstream that has 1 gig, and they cover about 90% of the town. So you got some seriously good options there. Plenty of internet to stream, game, whatever you want. Matter of fact, you might as well stream The Office. That, if you've never watched The Office, in the show, their headquarters was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is not too far from here. It's right up the road from Wilkes-Barre. Muncie's also a great place to live if you got some medical issues because they got a pretty good hospital in town. They get a thumbs up for their healthcare because they have UPMC Muncie in town. On top of that, they got some doctor's offices and some clinics in the area, so you're good to go on just about anything you need taken care of. Anything they can't take care of, I'm sure if you just went up to Scranton, they've got a nice size hospital there. They'll be able to cover you. Muncie also gets a thumbs up when it comes to their real estate. Currently, they only have 3 places for sale, but in the last month or 2, they've sold quite a few places. Your starting money here is around $200,000, and that'll get you a livable home that's a little bit older, but decent. And then it goes up to $250,000. They have a nice one, and anything over $400,000 or $500,000 is going to be a really nice place. So you got a wide selection for whatever your budget is. I'm sure if you decide to move to Muncie, they'd be happy to have you. That's one good thing I like about Pennsylvania. I've never got that vibe, and I've never heard people in the comment section or seen people in the comment section say don't come here. Like Colorado, people, no matter what you're saying about Colorado, they always got to get in the comment section about, oh, don't come here, we're full. They say the same thing about Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, all those places. Pennsylvania, these are good people, and they'd be happy to have you. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, and be nice to each other.